It was just another quiet Saturday morning in suburbia, until two fake officers showed up in tactical gear, trying to steal a classic car in plain sight. What they didn't expect was a retired Marine in plaid pajama pants, armed only with a coffee mug and a countdown. What happened next shocked the neighborhood, exposed a massive scam, and reminded everyone what real courage looks like. It was the kind of Saturday morning that felt like a blessing. The sun was bright, but not cruel. The scent of fresh-cut grass hung in the air, and I was under my late father's 1972 Dodge Charger, trying to coax life back into the engine that once roared down desert highways. In that moment, I was at peace. The sounds from inside the house were muffled, my niece's baby shower in full swing, laughter, cake, music. Everything felt whole, until it didn't. A pair of boots crunched on gravel. I slid out from under the car, wiping my hands, only to find two men standing near the driveway. Both wore dark tactical gear and sunglasses, looking like action movie extras. One was tall and bald with mirrored aviators. The other was shorter but thick-necked, like he chewed nails for breakfast. The tall one spoke first. "You're in violation of HOA code. Vehicle restoration is not permitted in open view. We're towing it." My heart stopped for a beat. HOA. That made no sense. We didn't even have an HOA in this part of the neighborhood. My voice came out dry. "There's no HOA here. Who are you guys?" They flashed generic-looking badges that could have been printed at Kinko's. The bald one tapped the hood with a gloved finger. "Don't make this harder than it has to be." I tried reasoning. I even stepped back, trying to de-escalate, but the shorter guy had already started attaching the tow chains to the Charger. That's when I knew this was no misunderstanding. This was a scam bold, daylight theft masked as authority. But before I could react, something shifted in the air. From the porch, a voice called out, calm, deep, familiar. "You boys got the wrong driveway. Uncle Ray." He looked ridiculous. Plaid pajama pants, a stretched-out t-shirt from a high school reunion, and a chipped ceramic coffee mug in hand. But the way he walked steady, deliberate, was the opposite of ridiculous. He was retired SWAT and former Marine. His age might have slowed his knees, but not his mind or his hands. The bald man turned, amused. "Sir, this doesn't concern you. Please go back inside." Ray took a sip from his mug. "I'll give you a head start. 5. They laughed. Actually laughed. But Ray wasn't smiling. 4. He said softly. The short guy stepped toward him. "Hey, old man, you think 3. Tension rippled through the air like the stillness before a lightning strike. 2. The bald one's hand hovered near his belt. 1. Before the final word had fully left his mouth, Ray moved. He closed the distance in a blink, twisted the bald man's wrist in a blur of motion, and slammed him face down onto the hood of the Charger. The mug didn't even spill. The other man lunged, but Ray pivoted, sweeping his leg and sending the guy crashing into the gravel with a grunt. In under 10 seconds, both men were disarmed and pinned. The bald one whimpered as Ray applied pressure to his shoulder blade. The short guy just stared up at the sky, stunned. Ray didn't speak. He didn't need to. His silence was louder than shouting. Emily, my cousin, had caught everything on her phone from the porch. The video was already uploading by the time the real police showed up. The officers who arrived, one of them, a seasoned vet named Daniels, were calm, but clearly disturbed. They cuffed the two imposters and placed them in the back seat without much conversation. It wasn't their first time hearing about fake HOA enforcers, but this was the first time someone had caught them in the act. What we didn't expect was what came next. Over the following days, the video went viral, not just locally, nationally. Uncle Ray became a symbol: gray hair, pajama pants, coffee mug and all. News anchors called him the calmest man in America. Internet sleuths dug into the imposter duo and uncovered a much larger scam, a network of criminals impersonating HOA officials, targeting neighborhoods without real oversight. They forged violations, intimidated homeowners, even staged inspections and threatened to seize homes. People were scared, but now they were angry. Our neighborhood became a flashpoint. Community meetings sprung up overnight. Ray was invited to speak, though he rarely said more than a few words. His message was simple. Pay attention, ask questions, protect your neighbors. The local precinct launched an investigation. Within weeks, more arrests followed. Victims came forward with similar stories. Elderly homeowners who paid fake fines out of fear. Single moms harassed into compliance. Even veterans threatened with eviction for made-up violations. Ray never sought credit. When the mayor offered him a civic award, he declined politely. Instead, a local artist sculpted a small tribute using shards of Ray's broken coffee mug. They installed it at the entrance of the neighborhood, next to a bronze plaque that read 4. They should have listened at 5. Ray just chuckled when he saw it, one evening, months later. As we sat watching the sunset from the porch, I asked him what made him act so fast that day. He didn't answer right away. He just took a sip of tea, then said quietly, "I've seen what happens when people wait for someone else to stand up. Sometimes it has to be you." That stayed with me. The baby shower that day had ended with laughter and cake, as if nothing outside had happened. But inside, all of us, something had changed. We had been reminded that safety isn't guaranteed. It's defended sometimes by men in uniform, sometimes by uncles in pajamas. We never looked at Ray the same way again. Not because he fought off 2 scammers in tactical gear, but because he reminded us what courage really looks like. It doesn't shout, it counts down. And when the time comes, it acts.